And we are live for some Week 7 Chair League action here in Heroes of the Storm. My name is Terra Spaz, and I'm here to bring to you a match today between Minion Miners on the blue team and Brightwing Duck on the red. Brightwing Duck has elected to bring us to Infernal Shrines for today's Week 7 bout here in Division 3, and they've got a bit of a wild card as an opponent, as Minion Miners a little bit late starting off in Season 4 here, so they've only got 3 games logged in so far, so not a kind of a bit of an unknown. Not really quite sure what fate's going to have in store for them, but we'll see how the season goes as we go through the opening round of the draft very quickly, with Lucio being quickly banned from Minion Miners and an Artanis response from Brightwing Duck. Which leaves Kalthus first pick, and a very strong pick, very able to dump damage into the objectives, and has a very high probability, with everything else being equal, of just spreading living bombs, hitting multiple target with flame strikes. It's a bit of a telling pick. I mean, it does allow Brightwing Duck to sort of build their team to deal with it. Perhaps this is a chance to see Nubarak
Grant us strength.
And Tyrael, for that matter. I think both of them now have spell armor and have an excellent way to just get through the front line and start punishing Kalthus. But looks like Malfurion Vala going to be the pick from Brightwing Duck, and control and damage seem to be the name of the game, as both teams really looking to dictate how fights go down at those shrines. There's not a whole lot scarier if you don't have a high health pool. Being rooted in place and just taking arrow after arrow from Vala, you can really just unload all of her abilities and dump truck damage on. Or the minions themselves. So Minion Miners on the clock for their next pick, with support in hand for Brightwing Duck, and Minion Miners having banned one. You'd almost have to see one here, and they do wind up picking Tyrande, who I haven't seen in Chair League in a long time. I'm not intimately familiar with the patch notes, but it does seem like Minion Miners are building themselves a team very well targeted on blowing one person straight to hell. Stuns from Kalthus, stun from Tyrande, root from Arthas. I mean, it's just a party train in terms of damage. With that Hunter's Mark as well, I mean, someone's gonna die if they're on the receiving end of that, almost whoever it is. But Brightwing Duck in the hot seat for picking up hero, getting out a hero themselves. And I wonder if Minion Miners would look to pick up an additional support as well, to sort of help enable Tyrande. And they do go with the Tassadar band, who'd be a fairly good pairing with Tyrande, able to keep her a little, give her some more health to survive, and just add that little bit of extra burst damage prevention. Ragnaros the band from Minion Miners, and all else being equal, he's tricky to deal with. And I think from every objective, there is a fort within range, chunk damage in there with impunity. So I like that band from both teams, and we're now on to Brightwing Duck's next selection. I really don't know how impactful those spell armor changes have been. I think so far only Nubarak and Tyrael have it of note.
My blades are yours.
Another good option is to just play the map, and they pick up Sonya to start ripping apart minions and give herself a lot of self-sustain. Just whacking away there in the middle. ETC for the continued engagement. A good solid pick. I would expect to see Brightwing Duck. I don't know, maybe grab. Depends how much they prioritize their Vala. If they're all about letting her kind of unload damage, be a pretty decent carry for the team, then maybe they go triple warrior, but more than likely they're probably going to go some other damage. Somebody who can help that Minion Miners with their last picks, and not quite what they're going to pull out of their hat here. I haven't seen Arthas and Tyrant in such a long time, but it is going to be Diablo for the continued engagement, the continued bullying, and Nazeebo for just a backhoe filled with damage. You might dump onto somebody's or objective, fort, keep. It's early in the evening. The pun juice hasn't started flowing in Throttle just yet, but should be correcting that soon as the night progresses. Brightwing Duck on their final pick, and it's I was Brightwing Duck. What would I pick? The other team's got a lot of very strong tools. Stun somebody and lock them down. Somebody with evasion. Li Ming isn't a bad choice here. Got a lot of ability to get out of the way of stuff, or you can just continue upping the damage meter as Zul'jin's the pick. And if he becomes the damage target, he can start trucking out a amount of damage. But that burst heal isn't quite around to keep him out of harm's way, like you might see Tassadar, or really most supports beyond Melf. So it's going to be I predict it's going to be a high takedown game on both sides. Both teams have excellent initiation potential, and have built a team that's clearly out to secure some fast takedowns without much regard for safety. Win fast, win hard. I'm sure that's someone's motto. So, but we are headed in to the board. We'll be there in just one moment. Taking a little bit of time to load. It's a new season day, so lots of folks storm right now, clogging up dem servers. Looks like everybody is making progress, and we should be live here. I know it's a busy day when the music track on the load runs out of music. Kind of stuck looking at screen. But we are live and loaded into Infernal Shrines here for some Chair League in Division 3 Week 7 here in Heroes of the Storm. As we're getting into teams here. And we are good to go. On the red team for Brightwing Duck, we've got Golgo on Malfurion, Galen on Vala, Bent Nails on ETC, Okar on Zul'jin, and Greth on Sonya. And on the blue team for the Minion Miners, we've got Wesdra on Nazeebo, Sir Mac of Cheese on Tyrant, Marienkaus on Arthas, Nyblade CD on Diablo, and Jin on Kael'thas. Gates are down, teams are headed barreling into the mid lane, but Minion Miners looking to play exceptionally safe, just hugging their towers, not willing to give Brightwing Duck any information into what's coming their way. But Ron gets a little bit of information, gets the scout out on ET. Looks like we're going to start things off fairly tamely. So, Minion Miners have committed 3 people to the mid lane. Might see a 1-3-1 here from Minion Miners as Brightwing Duck elects to go for number 1 rotation. Rotating, looks like Vala's just going to peel off. So, top lane and catches that wave. Doesn't look like she lost any experience there. So good rotation from Vala. I gotta say, I'm digging this new this new UI, it's a lot easier to tell what hero's health total is. That is a great thing for serving the match. Check out how lanes are going, and it looks like Sonya fairly predictably dominating here in the bottom lane. Just bullying Nightblade's safety of his own gate. Can't really get a strong engagement here. Health pool up and quite low. Go ahead and tap Fountain. Up to parity in the mid lane. Both teams kind of scrapping out chunk of damage as best as they can. And up in the top lane, looks like Nazeebo able to get a little bit of work done, but does cost him his nearly entire mana bar. So he's going to hearth out, won't be immediately available for this. So Brightwing Duck should be able to get in position and really start pressing the advantage here on this here on the objective. Big engagement coming out of Bent Nails, trying to go ham on Nightblade CD. The damage is real, and health pool is dropping fairly quickly. Will he be able to escape? No. So first takedown of the match is going to be Diablo for Minion Miners. The engagement isn't quite over. Bent Nails going in colossally deep and is going to pay for that with his life. Doesn't manage to secure the second takedown. So a 1-for-1 so far. Galen at critical health, but still chunking out damage on Minions. And it looks like Brightwing Duck is has a notable advantage here in the shrines. Both teams back 4v as Kelthus taps the fountain to come back in the fight. And now it's Minion Miners who look like they have control of the point. Brightwing Duck looking for the angle, looking for the engagement, and very aggressive positioning from both Vala and Greymane. Huge engagement coming out of Bent Nails once more, just dives in, separating Minion Miners to the wind, but it looks like they're going to be able to escape. Marion Kaus dashing away with a sliver of health, so close on minion totals, both teams at 33, but it looks like Brightwing Duck is going to have the position to close this out. And they will cap the first Punisher, and oh no, Marion Kaus gets engaged on by Bent Nails, so it is going to be another takedown for Brightwing Duck, but more critically, that means Arthas tends to fare pretty well against Immortals like this, being able to stand there and just chunk out damage for quite some time. Not available for the defense. But good bait for the jump from Minion Miners. They do lose their front wall, but that's kind of expected. Here's our first Punisher. They are able to preserve their fort's health to... Wow, those were words. Preserve their fort's health total fairly well. But the real win for Brightwing Duck in all this is Vala laning in the top lane, able to just soak up experience, and it looks like Bent Nails looks like he may be having some connection issues. Waiting for the pause from Brightwing Duck to see if they want to take one. Looks like they're willing to fight on with AI. Hopefully Bent Nails will be back in the fight fairly soon. We do see the engagement coming out from ETC, but it is just ETC at this point, so he is going to get the takedown, but almost get the equalizer on Nightblade. So advantage for Brightwing Duck, but hopefully Bent Nails will be back in the fight fairly soon to make this a real 5-on-5, not 5-on 4.5 or 4 1/4 or whatever an AI player is worth these days. Alright, then we do see the pause come out from Brightwing Duck. It's, actually, I don't know. I think I loaded myself as a spectator, so I'm going to be able to see my chat. So guessing they can't. I'm betting they I think if you're in as an observer, players can't see you in chat. It looks like Bent Nails is catching back up to this, fortunately. Like they're able to get this resolved before the next objective. Fortunately, kind of a silly takedown there, but even more crucially, ETC did not burn his level 7 talent pick yet, so Bent Nails be in full control of that aspect, which sure he'll be happy to see when he comes back. Looks like he's back in business. Are you ready? And we see the so after all said and done, Brightwing Duck still enjoys a slight experience advantage from that Vala getting work done up in the top. But speaking of getting work done, those spiders do not play around when they are on you. They just start chunking down your health. And there is nothing you can do to stop it except get away from him as quickly as you can. Objective is going to be up in the top lane. The Brightwing Duck looks like they're going to be fairly late to this as they scoop up their siege camp down in the bottom lane. They're going to get some value out of that. Oh no, but a huge stun coming out from Sir Mac and Cheese. Almost trying to set up Gallon for a large dose of vitamin damage. But Galen will be able to escape. Minion miners in position on the shrine, up to about 10 or so. Here comes the invasion from Brightwing Duck. Are we going to see the engagement from Bent Nails? We do. Gets a solid stun, a couple folks. Wesker at fairly critical health, but so is Grace. And so see the disengagements from both sides. We'll see it may depend on who's got fountains up. But it may not be enough for Okar as a critical stun from Tarada almost takes it out. The Owl just a little off target. Nazebo winds up falling, but Galen quick behind, so a 1-for-1. And the bout continues. Bent Nails, now the target of Minion Miners, will get taken down. And now a 2-for-1 in favor of Minion Miners, but Brightwing Duck showing no fear, sticking on the point. Looking to clean up as many minions as they can, and they even have an advantage of this. They seem to be taking out more with less. That's a really strong position to be in. They're only about 10 away, and Minion Miners with the numbers advantage can't quite get the angle they want. Nightblade CD almost gets the isolation out on against Brightwing Duck, but they are now in command of the shrine. Able to dole out maybe the damage. Marion Cow's trying to zone out Greeth, trying to just buy his team enough time. We see the engagement come out once more from Bent Nails, and the Warriors and Minion Miners at critical health. And if they're not careful, this could be very disastrous for Pablo falling. Looks like everybody else. Oh no, a stun coming out on Jin, and Wesker delayed as well. So Wesker will get taken out as well. Beyond that, mana total's still fairly low as well, so there's not going to be a whole lot of damage to chunk out this Punisher with just Tyrande and Arthas looking at this right now. Diablo's on the way as well, but really not known for his high damage output. Heroics now online for Brightwing Duck, and they're going to continue to push and get lots of advantage out of it. Base and Punisher jump should get blown up pretty quickly here with Keep firing on it. And Brightwing Duck rotating down to the mid lane to finally join this siege camp that's been pushing the entire objective. Wesker almost get taken out, is able to escape, and the turnaround from Minion Miner. Their heroics are online. A lot of damage on Galen. Have to play fairly safely. That said, a lot of damage turning around the other way. Sir Mac and Cheat, about 3% health. Marion Cow's at half. And both teams say, you know what, that was exciting, that was thrilling, but let's get out of here and go set up for the next fight. We're kind of all over the place. Health pool, mana bars are all across the board. So both teams are working on their bruiser camp right now. Brightwing Duck trying to get the scout out on their siege camp, see if Minion Miners do anything cheeky and aggressive, but it looks like Brightwing's gonna pick up their camp. Minion Miners in kind look like they're beginning to work on there. Owls revealing that they are going to be safe. They should be able to take this with no problems. And both teams just kind of trying to glom up as many resources on the board as they can without tipping their hand and going too deep for an engagement. Brightwing Duck is able to get this bottom siege camp, so Are they gonna push with this? It looks like the answer is a resounding sort of, as they've committed a couple people to the area. All in all, nothing too aggressive. It's just a fort, and it's really not worth surrendering her hero right before the shrine phase. Brightwing Duck decided to play it fairly safe. Meanwhile, Vala up top dealing with that mercenary camp pushing for minion. Miners want. They could have a positional advantage here for this this objective. Neither team has really started to charge in. Like Nightblade does activate it, so they're going to start cleaning up minions here. And Brightwing Duck doing a nice job just yoinking 6 minions away from that firm range. Malfurion just doing a great job of fire to last hit those minions and get credit for the hard work that Minion Miners are doing. Cinder goes into Blind, and a critical starfall from Tyrant is just dumping damage onto Brightwing Duck left and right. Probably responsible for at least 2 of those 3 takedowns, but make that 4 as Okar not able to escape under the cover of Taz Dingo. And Minion Miners on away in advantage should get their first Punisher of the match. And Vala does have to hearth back, so Brightwing Duck should be able to bring most of their defenses to bear for the keep. So this fort is just in Doomsdayville, as there's no defense to stop this Punisher. But Minion Miners not pushing incredibly hard just yet. Looking to continue to gain an experience advantage elsewhere on the map, it seems. Finally bring 3 members here to initiate onto it. Sonya goes deep, is rewarded with a large amount of damage coming out of the Punisher, down to about half health. Is going to have to play a little cautiously for a bit. The fort does eventually fall. Punisher at about a 1/3 health. Can Grief escape? A big silence coming out of Malfurion. Is that ice block going to be enough to save him? No, so he will fall. 1-0 in favor of Minion Miners, as the Punisher is going to die at the gates of Brightwing Duck's bottom keep. So, all in all, for a level 14 Punisher, that's a pretty solid defense out of Brightwing Duck. They did surrender a takedown, which wasn't you know, the greatest outcome there, but losing a fort for a Punisher like that, that's not so bad. Certainly do. But with that, it does give Minion Miners a chance to start exerting control of their own on the map. So, Kelp is heading top to clear out that very large wave, mounting in the top lane. The rest of the team grabs the siege camp, their side of the map, and fairly low on Nazebo has to hearth back, and this is an aggressive move from Minion Miners, coming in 3 against 5. Are they gonna? They look like they do get caught out. Tyrant getting taken down, and Nightblade should be close behind. Can they continue on to Arthas? Arthas looks like he is gonna be able to get away. I didn't know if Wraith had another stun in her, or if there's gonna be Brightwing. 2-0 and a siege camp for Brightwing Duck, and just like that, now the momentum has shifted back their way. I say a camp, they didn't actually finish taking it at the time, so they'll get it on the way out. But a good response from Minion Miners. Nazebo running top to grab that Merc camp of their own to at least discourage Brightwing Duck from pushing as hard as they could here in the bottom lane. But may all be for naught, as Minion Miners in place to clean up the siege camp in the bottom. Objective is at top, so Brightwing Duck should be headed up to the top lane. Westgrow, will he be able to escape? The initiation does come out from Sonya, but he is just taking shot after shot from Greeth, just absolutely bullying him, but a huge zombie wall just to enable spiders to just start trickling in damage, and Greeth falls fairly low, all things considered. Barrage continuing to just use that powerful range to chip away Greeth. Gonna have to find a fountain or hearth back, because that is not a viable health pool. Both teams at 16 should see a big engagement here. Cindergosa and Starfall to try and chunk up the damage. ETC is certainly doomed for this world. And it looks like at this point, Minion Miners may have just prioritized circles. We got Zombie Wall, Phoenix, Starfall, Good rule of thumb is if you can put enough circles on the map, there is no safe place for the other team to go. And a bit of a weird bug I think this new user interface has. Doesn't look like I can see the cooldowns for all of the ultimates. I know I just saw Phoenix and Starfall, but it doesn't look like the cooldowns up, so. But anyway, enough about boring technical mumbo jumbo. Brightwing Duck pushing here in the mid lane to try and continue to get some experience. Not willing to fight man down, so waiting for the rest of their team to spawn. This fort is definitely gone, but let's see if Minion Miners can capitalize on this and get even value. We do see a very sneaky position coming out of Brightwing Duck, trying to maybe find somebody who wanted to wander in the wrong way, but we do see them come in on Minion Miner's flank, and that's a tough order, as Arcane Punisher does have a lot of damage on the board. They do get the takedown on Tyrande and Kelthus though, so what do I know? Minion Miners having to retreat. But ETC stuck in the lasers. Greeth in a bit of peril as well. Is going to be able to stay around? Like the answer is yes. So a 3 for 2 in favor of Minion Miners, but critically, Brightwing Duck able to mount the defense and save their keep. Both teams heading back, licking their wounds, regrouping, trying to figure out where they want to attack next. And it's, despite the level difference, it's still a very close game. Both teams have almost full health keeps across the board. Minion Miners look like they're pushing in on this fort. I don't see how it survives with Siege Camp and a 3v2 at the fort. Although reinforcements quickly on the way for Brightwing Duck, and not as quickly as Bent Nails, who stage dives in, gets the isolation on Arthas, and does result in a takedown. So big advantage coming out of Brightwing Duck. They look to pursue and capitalize. A Starfall used to try and zone and slow coming onslaught of Brightwing Duck. Doesn't quite get a huge bunch of damage out of that, but it is enough to secure Minion Miner's safety. All quiet on the Infernal front. Brightwing Duck rotates down to the bottom, trying to get that siege camp. Minion Miner's already in position to deal with it, but inside we're going to go find an advantage somewhere else on the map. We see Nazebo and Sonya taking their bruiser camps respectively. So those should clash up in the top lane, and I think the last Punisher was top. That's a good place for those camps to clash. Next Shrine's going to be active here in the bottom lane. Looks like Sonya and Nazebo are going to finish up here fairly soon. Fairly well, and Brightwing Duck heading up top to go clean up that mercenary camp in short order. So Miners will have the position advantage if they want it. They do have vision on both Vala and Suljin, so they know that this is a fight they can win right now. As they, well, that besides, they've got the experience lead and are almost on the door of 20s. So if they can hang on long enough, they should have a notable advantage here at this minion fight. Already about a third of the way to the objective. Stage Guide comes in, manages to connect with Nightblade CD. Looks like that's where the engagement's going to go, and the damage just pours out onto him. Can he escape? Looks like maybe, but doesn't matter for Nazebo as he gets taken out as well. Diablo has the soul, so he will be coming back. Sonya at such critical help, but Tyrande just misses with the lunar flare. And at the point, it's 3-on-3, but Diablo and Sonya waiting in the wings. But it may not amount to... Oh, and the critical owl takedown, just absolutely moonshotting Sonya. Is going to give Minion Miners just a massive advantage here. It's got a Frozen Punisher pushing down in the bottom lane. They've got they've only got 3 members so far. Nazebo and Kelthus not present for the moment, so they're going to be able to push fairly safely, but they're not going to have a lot of damage. So Brightwing Duck may be able to hang on to this keep as well. Punisher goes ham on Vala. Flare just an instant too late as Vala vaults to safety. Punisher at about 2/3 health as Minion Miners break through the wall. Can they get the engagement? Power slide into a different root circle, and the stun comes out as well. It looks like Minion Miners are going to retreat. They're not going to take a gamble here and get the rest of their a chance to push, grab some more objectives around the map. And oh, this could be disastrous for Minion Miners. They are able to get the Siege Camp stage dive connects on Nightblade, but big burst of damage coming out as a 4-man Apocalypse comes out onto Brightwing Duck, who's still hanging out in the middle of this Starfall with a Cinder Ghost and a Phoenix to boot. So this is going to be potentially a large swing for Minion Miners as they get the 3-for-1 and the pursuit onto Malfurion and Sonya, who keep trading around that living bomb. Sonya eventually taken out by it. Malfurion not long from this world either. So this should give Minion Miners a chance to close out here. I think they have enough resources with those Merc camps in mid, and they're going to gun down this keep here in the bottom lane that they could just go for core here and close this out. They've got about 20 seconds before anyone on Brightwing Duck can even think of mounting a defense. And that should be plenty of time to chunk down this core. It looks like that will be what they're going to do. Core falls to about 50%, and with that, Minion Miners with a critical turnaround there at the end, able to get the engagement they wanted either through chance or baiting. The world may never know, but the world does know is Minion Miners through just all sorts of AoE damage, win the prolonged fight and get the edge on Brightwing Duck. New to the season, but not new to victory. Then back to equality, and Brightwing Duck will wish both teams the best of luck. 8 close match, all the way through and through, back and forth. Team. Yeah, it just it seemed like as soon as one team got an advantage, their opponent was able to find a way to get back in it. Really a fun game to cast. I always like Infernal Shrines because it's one of those maps where you can't grab the objective in just a couple seconds, like handling. It really invites the opportunity for a fight or a counterplay. If you're not in a position to get a fight, then off grabbing some Merc camps, soaking experience. This is a map that lets you do that. So fully enjoyed by both teams, I hope. But there is only one W. Hey, that W goes to Minion Miners. Congratulations. My name has been Spaz, and I will see you all in the next. Take care.